Hey, True Believers, England teen here with a Grant Morrison Christmas. Yes, it's Grant Morrison, Dan Moore presenting Klaus and the Crisis in Xmasville. Never take the Christ out of Christmas. That's what my mom used to tell me. Yeah. She's an atheist now, so I'm stuck with that lesson. And anyway, I digress. Let's continue with the story once again by Grant Morrison and Dan Moore. Okay, at first, I got to admit, I did not know what to make of this. You know, I'm looking around, I'm thinking, okay, this seems familiar. These kids are in a car, they come to a town, it's filled up with Santas. I've seen this before. What's going on here? Okay, maybe not the story itself, but the structure. I've been here before. What could this be? Oh my gosh. This is Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, but it's done well. Seriously. Hey, if you're going to redo a story, why not do one that's classically bad? One that's so bad, it's good. Granted, this version of Santa Claus versus the Martians doesn't have a baby Pia Zadora. For those of you who are too young to understand, she was a 1980s, she was a kid actress in the 60s, became a 1980s pop-top queen. Then you have, well, the hero and the villain. Obviously, Klaus is Santa Claus, but instead of the jolly fat guy who laughs and his belly shakes like a bowl full of jelly, you've got this ubermensch muscular dude that's going after his evil half, which I do believe is this comic book's version of the Krampus. Although I also have to think that then they're kind of saying that Santa Claus and the Krampus aren't mystical beings as much as they're aliens. Woo! Santa Claus, alien from outer space. Leave it to Grant Morrison to do something bizarre and crazy like that. Not that the traditional legend of Santa Claus wouldn't come off as bizarre and crazy if somebody were to explain it to you today. Now, I called this Santa Claus versus the Martians, but good. And it is, but I shouldn't have said but good because it's good in the same way as Santa Claus versus the Martians. You have a Krampus that's saying, aha, the universe is really just as flat as a coin, and we're one side, we're the underbelly of it. Ha ha, her. The dialogue is just way over the top here. And mind you, I've had fun with this. If you haven't gotten that particular message, I have had fun with this book. But, I mean, come on, it's just crazy. The Santa's little helpers, the elves, that supposedly are supposed to run Santa's workshop, were literally created by a soda pop company, which, of course, I guess is kind of mirroring the real universe's Santa Claus shilling for Coke. Truth be told, I think there is a huge missed opportunity here when they didn't have polar bears, because ultimately it was Santa Claus and the polar bears that really kind of shilled for Coca-Cola. So heck, if they had that in some way, shape, or form, I think it would have been a lot more, like a 1-2 punch. Yeah, but that's just me. So anyway, there's something going on here where we meet a character named Frost, and he's training Santa, and there's a whole team that's helping him out. And it reminds me of one of those kung fu movies where the lone fighter is trained by 17 different masters in order to defeat the bad guy. And all I could think is, wait a second, why don't you just send that team of 17 different masters to go and defeat the huge evil that you need stopped today? Now, especially if the Krampus, as they've said, it is so powerful. If he's so much of a threat, why just send this one guy? There's no real emotional tie where he's like, I have to do this by myself. No, you don't. Send in the team. Take him. Yeah, train the guy, sure, so he's one more person. But let's take the whole team. Why not? It just doesn't make sense. Oh, and by the way, this book is so crazy that at one point, Krampus turns into a freaking werewolf. Honestly, this is Grant Morrison at his most Grant Morrison, man. I don't know. He just said, you know what? Screw it. Let's write a Christmas tale. And what do you want to see in there? Werewolves? Okay, yeah, we'll do it. Hey, have you ever heard of the Krampus? Krampus turns into a werewolf. It's this man was having a blast, and I think you would too. If you find this book and you're on your fence, I don't know if anybody but me are collecting or picking up comic books that have to deal with Christmas. A lot of these, after this season it's released, you could find in dollar bins and all that kind of stuff. Trust me on that. And still, if you pick this one up, you're going to get yourself an incredibly crazy comic book. One of the possibly one of the most bizarre Christmas tales you could find on the comic book shelves right now. And yeah, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, man, you are not going to be disappointed here. But that's my opinion. What is yours? Have you read Klaus and the Crisis at the Xmas Village? If you have, let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you haven't done it already. That's the most important thing for YouTube. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till, or even commission your own video. Like, thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.